Callum, when you become a parent, it seems there are certain tasks you have to start doing for your kids, right? You know, making sure they eat their veggies, putting them to bed, reading them a bedtime story. And when putting them to bed, checking for monsters is one of those big ones, right? I mean, at least I see it in a lot of TV and movies. Me not having kids as well as you, I just assume you have to check for monsters.
I mean, yeah, it'd be a funny process, wouldn't it? You know, and imagine your kid... Your kid's saying, "Oh, can you check for the monster in the closet?" Absolutely not. You can deal with him.
Hell to the no.
You think just because I'm an adult I don't believe in that stuff?
Sorry, Gregory.
You can deal with him. I'm going down to watch TV in the lounge room.
Well, Callum, you might be one of the smarter parents because what if I told you these monsters are real?
Cue the scary music.
Yeah, we're looking at a TikTok that's been amassing over 9 million views, and it's documenting a child talking about monsters in the wall, right? So on this TikTok, you can almost hear this faint sort of buzzing sound moving in the walls. It's got a real deep, sort of almost vibrating sound.
Right.
And then they get a thermal camera. Now, if you don't know what a thermal camera is, it sort of registers heat signatures, and it shows up as like bright orange or red, and it can pick the heat in body and living organisms.
Wow, so they're almost, getting the paranormal investigator side out of them.
They're like the Warrens out of The Conjuring.
Getting a bit of the tech out.
So they check this thermal camera and they point it at the wall, and they can see a heat signature moving around in the wall.
Well, that's when you call your real estate agent, your local. Hey, mate.
You sold me a horse.
You sold me the murder house. You didn't put that in the brochure.
So the mum, being a curious person, as we all are, opens up this sort of filter area in the wall, and opens up the wall. And what came out, Callum, it's going to freak you out. You ready?
Tell me.
50,000 honeybees.
Wow.
No, not the bees! Not the bees!
Yeah.
50,000 bees.
Imagine a swarm of 50,000 bees coming out of your wall. I mean, do you reckon they're all coming with the same question?
You like jazz?
Just an annoying plague of jazz-loving bees. Yeah, I think I would probably rather a ghost entity than be stung by 50,000 bees. At least the ghost is a bit spooky, pretty harmless though. Won't do much to you, but a bit of ectoplasm or something.
Yeah.
But, bees... painful as.
The bee bit my bottom. No, my bottom's big.
Yeah, I would not want to deal with 50,000 bees in your home. What are you doing? You're packing your bags? Are you moving out?
I reckon that. You go to your sister's house. You're like, hey, look, sorry to crash here. I've got all my luggage, but weird one. A lot of bees in my house.
Yeah, do you move out or do you get into the honey business?
Yeah, profit to be made.
Do you know what weekend this is coming up?
Well, I know because we're in our medieval fits that it is the medieval weekend. There is a festival on.
Yeah, well, besides from that, it's May 4th, May 5th, which is the official Star Wars days.
Yes, Star Wars nerds unite. You are one of them. You take this like a religious holiday.
I am a massive Star Wars fan, and of course, I'm living for this weekend. May the 4th be with you, and May the 5th, Revenge of the 5th, it is.
Just whatever they say with the 5th,
Yeah. I think there's like ones for the 6th, the 7th, the 8th
There's
as
a
well.
few, yeah.
But this year, there's a milk company that is releasing a Star Wars iconic drink, which is their blue milk.
Wow, okay.
Now, blue milk is in a lot of the Star Wars movies, TV shows. It's the common thing they all drink. In the first Star Wars A New Hope, right at the start, you can see them all sitting around the table drinking blue milk. And so this milk company is releasing blue milk on May the 4th, which I think is really cool. And then it got me thinking about what other movie foods I'd like to see in real life. And that's why we're about to open up the text line on 0428 927 927 and ask you, what food from a movie would you want in real life, Adelaide?
Yeah, I mean, blue milk is a start. You got the Star Wars, but how about, your things like Harry Potter?
Anything from the trolley?
Of course, you got the chocolate frogs. Imagine if they were real. They
That
come
jump
to life.
around.
They jump around. That is a bit of technology I would like to see someday. Someday. I know it's hard, guys. Everyone in the Cadbury factory, but it would be good.
I tell you what, they did release a Harry Potter Birdie Bots every flavoured bean, which is like, they have the beans, like some of them are like snot flavoured, some of them are like strawberry flavoured. And they did that really well when I got that packet, and I tried a few of them, and they were literally inedible.
You know what? They didn't fool around with that one, though. They
No.
didn't play around and think, oh, yeah, it's marketable for kids. You know, we want them to enjoy it, semi kind of thing. They were disgusting, some of them. They were pretty accurate to the
Yeah.
movie that it was vomit flavored.
They were pretty bad, but there are so many movies, so many TV shows that have all these amazing looking made up foods. So we want to know on the text line, what food from these movies would you want to try in real life, Adelaide? And somebody's texted in saying, I think about that chocolate cake from Matilda every goddamn day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to try that though, because it's kind of a grueling scene when you think about it.
I mean, you wouldn't be under such strict conditions as Bruce was. I guess if you're just eating the cake in your own time, you could probably space it out over 3 weeks. He had to, eat that in one go.
Bruce.
But he was a hero. He was
was.
a hero at the end of it.
He really was a hero.
We got someone here. Would love to try a Krabby Patty from SpongeBob.
I used to always think about this as a kid. Was it a Krabby Patty? What was the meat in a Krabby Patty, right?
Well, it can't have been crab,
It
because that
couldn't
would
have
have
been
been
crab, because-
offensive to the owner, Mr. Krabs,
Yeah.
right?
And it couldn't have been fish because they're all fish. But what meat is there down under
I'm
the
not sure.
sea?
I feel like we'll have to get in touch with the SpongeBob lore there.
It's
have a bit of a
question
research.
I've always wondered. Hey, got another text here. I want to eat Brendan's nachos at the start of Step Brothers.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, that's a great call.
Absolutely massive. You know what I watched the other day? Zoolander. Orange mocha frappuccino would be all right. Just don't go near any petrol stations.
Yeah, hey, we're going to go to Tony over in Seaford. Tony, good morning, mate. Have you got a food from a movie you'd like to try?
Oh, I definitely do. If you've seen the movie Empire Records, which pretty fits in really good being a Windback Wednesday, but there was a scene there where Eddie gave Mark a alfoil package of brownies. And the response that Mark had from it, he really loved those brownies. So I reckon that'd be really good to try.
Yeah, you thought that looked pretty good. I'm sure you can get your hands on it somehow.
I don't know how movie specific these brownies sound, Tony. Good on you, mate. Cheers for getting involved.
We got Vita in Kilkenny. Tell us, what movie, drink, or food would you like to see in real life?
The Duff Beer from
Duff Beer.
The Simpsons.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Vita, have you ever tried the Duff Beer energy drink they brought out a few years ago?
No.
No,
It's
it's
just
not.
not
It's
the
not the
same.
same. You
It's
want
not
it.
the
You
same.
want it as a beer.
And the
Yeah.
Duff Beer really does have a hold.
Absolutely.
It does have a hold on a lot of the characters, doesn't it? So it must taste pretty damn good.
Maybe a reason not to have it.
Yeah. Homer's not doing so well, really.
Neither is Barney. Good on you, Vita. Thanks for getting involved. So many people still on the text line. I want to eat the rehydrated pizza from Back to the Future too. Yeah, absolutely.
We got another Back to the Future dehydrated pizza as well. It's going off.
Callum. We're playing Wheelie Windback Wednesday with a medieval spin on it this morning because the medieval fair is this weekend down at Paracombe. And Heaven Costumes kind enough to let us borrow a couple costumes so we could fit the medieval scene.
Yeah, we're looking schmick-as. Obviously, there's huge windows here by Fresh. We're getting a bunch of people coming down. We've actually got Marty walking down now. Get her
Our sound
attention.
producer, we're trying to wave at her. She never looks in.
Purposely ignoring us. Probably seen the outfits and thinking, they're a little bit too skimpy and tight.
Hell no.
Don't want to associate.
I will not go.
But of course, this festival is awesome, Tom. I was having a look before as well. There's even stuff like hand-wielded axes that you can win. So
Right.
blacksmith kind of stuff. So there's some real cool medieval things that you can get around.
Absolutely. Well, let's jump straight in. We've got Aiden from Middle Beach, or can I say the Middle Ages, Aiden?
Yes, you're right, and I'm a Lord, so how are you guys?
Oh, there you go, Lord
There you go.
Aiden.
Well, welcome to the show, Lord Aiden. How's your medieval knowledge, do you reckon?
It's awful. Let's give it a go.
Awful. All right, well, let's have a stab in the dark. Let's go with the first question, Lord Aiden. What is the name that was given to the virus that devastated Europe in the 1300s, killing almost 50 million people?
The Black Plague.
That's it. Yep, it was
That
the
is
big
correct.
one.
Well
There you
done.
go.
All right, Lord Aiden, second question. True or false, in medieval Europe, animals were put on trial and convicted of crimes. Is that true or false?
True.
He's done it again.
Jeez, for someone who reckons he doesn't have much medieval knowledge.
Lord Aiden is being a little bit sneaky, I reckon.
You know
I think
what?
his knowledge is quite good.
Lord Aiden, we're going to give you a double pass to the medieval fair this weekend, mate.
Thank you guys so much. You.
Cheers.
See you there.
Let's go to Reese in Renown Park. Reese, are you a lord as well, sir?
I'm much more of a question. I love a good question.
Reese might be underwater.
Reese is an underwater sea god of the medieval times.
Maybe your.
I love a good quest, boys. I love a
There
good
we go.
quest.
Good.
That's better.
Very good.
All right. Well, Reese, would you care to play our medieval game?
That's what I'm here for, boys.
Let's do it.
Absolutely. All right. First question: who is the god of Valhalla and father to Thor and Loki?
Odin?
He's done it. Very good call. Very good. All right, we're going to give you a little bit of a movie quote. All you have to do is finish the quote. We want you to put a bit of oomph into it. You have to put a bit of energy into it, but it's from a medieval movie.
Here you go. See if you can finish the quote, Reese.
You shall not
Pass!
He's done
Give him
it.
the double pass.
Reese, you got a double pass to the medieval fair coming your way as well, mate.
You ripper, boys.
Cheers,
You're
mate.
legend.
Good on you, mate. You with Tom and Callum. It's a medieval show for the rest of the show all morning, so stay tuned.
Tom, for a long time, there was no better feeling than getting a trophy, right? When you
Yep.
win something, you get
Absolutely.
to brag, you get to put that on your mantelpiece.
Yeah.
You know, and
Trophies, medals, and any sort of, shiny object you get for winning something.
Yeah.
Makes you feel good.
Exactly right. But what's better than a trophy is something I've found recently, and you see it popping up more and more over the years. It accumulates a lot of names, a lot of records, things like that. It's having your name on a wall.
Oh, yeah.
And so I stumbled across this because there is a pub here in the city, and it's actually very funny. It's an old Irish pub, but it links onto a Chinese restaurant. So
Right.
it's kind of a weird setup that you have to go through the Chinese restaurant to get into the old Irish pub. But I was there. I was there with a
How
mate.
do you find these places?
It's a real like I don't know. It's just discreet, isn't it? It's just somewhere in the city here, but it's an odd one. But I was there with a mate, and we're having a look at one of the boards there, and up on the board was a leaderboard of sorts,
Right.
and it was how many beers someone has drunk in their time of going to the pub.
Oh, like all-time leaderboard.
All time. So it wasn't like
Oh,
a-
that's one of the leaderboards you wouldn't want to be on top of.
Yes, it's one of those. Would I want to brag if I'm on the top?
No, you
And
wouldn't take anyone there.
It's also not like in one sitting. At first, I looked at the amount of beers it was, and it was something crazy. Like obviously, it's in the hundreds.
Yeah.
And I thought, geez, that is not one sitting, right? What animal went there on a night out and pumped that many beers? But no, it's over a certain amount of years. It's over however many years they've been going there as a regular, and you get your name up on this board. But they take it with such pride. It's this huge leaderboard right there in the pub. There's about 10 people on it, but it's absolutely massive.
I mean, I feel like once you're on a wall somewhere, you take it with pride no matter what it is, right? I mean, you've got like the wall of pictures at the Euros house on Rundle Street.
I'm on that.
I know you are, which is absolute crap. I should be on it.
Everyone's jealous if they're not on the Euros wall, but that is also ultimate bragging rights. Once you're on a wall, you can take people there, you can show it off. Hey, that's my name, that's me.
Have you been put on a wall, Adelaide? It could be maybe for a food challenge. Maybe you finish like a big 2-kilo steak
Sure.
or something. Maybe you were employee of the month.
Could be a quiz team. Maybe there's a
Yeah.
plaque there, highest quiz score. But we see the wall as the highest accolade.
Yeah.
This is the new trophy. This is where you can take anybody there, and at any time someone can see that you're a winner. So are you on a wall somewhere?
And is it your name? Is it a picture of you? Let us know, Adelaide. Have you been put on a wall? Plenty of people getting involved at the moment, Callum. Someone's texted in here saying, "Morning team, my picture is up at a suburban pub. Unfortunately, it's for a live band."
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
not good.
Not the kind of photo you want up.
We did say accolades, specifically things you're proud of. Dude, I
Missed the memo.
I remember my grandpa when he was at the nursing home, he would go, he would like run off, like he just hated it there. So he'd just bolt it, he'd just like try and like speed off, not come back, go to the shops, all that stuff, go to the pub. And then he ended up having his picture on the door.
Like a bounty.
So when we walked up one day, it said, "Don't let this man out." And it was his picture, just a nice one of him on the recliner smiling. But obviously the intention behind it was this guy's trouble, Speaking of the Euros house, Tom, someone said, I asked for a solo Euros house picture. Dude did it, but it was definitely weird not being in a group. Once again, being by yourself and asking for a picture, it's a bit odd.
Yeah, got another text here. I put a photo of myself up in the boys' bathroom at a city pub known for having 10s everywhere with my number. I got 3 calls. Would Defs recommend?
3 calls, not bad.
There's a lot of questions I have. How'd you get in the boys' bathroom? Why did you think it'd be a good idea to leave a photo of yourself with your number in a boys' bathroom?
Are you carrying the photo at all times?
Yeah, and have you caught up with these 3 calls or not? Because I suspect you probably shouldn't.
And are they prank calls? Are they being serious? This one here is great, Tom. I was in Japan last year, convinced a restaurant I was Hugh Jackman, and they took a picture of me and put it up. Not bad at all.
Yeah.
I'm the Wolverine.
Yeah.
You know me.
God, imagine going into that restaurant and seeing that picture and being like, that's
not
Hugh
him.
Jackman.
If you're an actual Australian and you're like, it's not Wolverine, right?
Got another text here come. 2 kilo schnitzel comp on a leaderboard there. Not a good memory though. Took a date there and had to drop her home after. Didn't have it in me to make any moves.
Right. Once again, I have heard of people doing eating comps on a date.
Yeah.
Bad call. Never
Schnitzel
do it.
won.
At least your name's on the board.
You might have won the challenge, but
Lost the war. Tom, we mentioned on the show recently that over in Milan, they're doing a few little efforts to stop tourists from coming, which seems a bit weird, just minimise the amount of tourists that are staying up late and causing a ruckus.
Yeah.
So they were going to ban gelato past 12 a.m. Ridiculous.
Yeah. It is absolutely crazy.
It's actually just insane.
I hope they don't follow through with it.
No, God no. I mean, it's just a ruiner, but there's another tactic another country is using that's kind of just as absurd and weird as the Milan gelato thing.
Is it to keep tourists out again?
It's to keep tourists out.
Why are these countries trying to keep tourists out?
They're just sick of them.
Isn't it good for the economy?
I think it is, obviously, but I think they're just trying to minimise it slightly so it's not as much and it's not causing as much rowdiness and heaps of people around, especially in local towns and smaller places.
Yeah, okay. Well, quick, before we get into this different country, if you had to minimise tourism here in South Australia, what would you be doing to try and stop it?
You just stop the pubs. You're like, no pubs past 10 p.m. or something.
Because that's why people come to South Australia.
No, you'd put
it'd be something to do with the wine region, right?
Put a big cloth on the mole's balls. They're not there. They're
under construction.
Yeah, cover them up, hide those balls. But no, over in Japan, the town where Mount Fuji is, this is the highest mountain in Japan. It raises over 12,388 feet. It is absolutely massive. Obviously, this is a big
famous
hitter.
for their apples.
Mount Fuji, yeah, exactly. Cold apples. But it's there over in Japan, and it's a huge tourist attraction.
Yeah.
Biggest mountain in Japan.
Yeah.
Now, the town where you get the optimal viewing, where you get to see Mount Fuji the best, they're trying to deter tourists from coming by hiding it.
Hiding what? The town?
Hiding Japan's biggest mountain.
How are they going to hide?
It's ridiculous. That's what I mean.
Figured out invisibility technology.
It's as weird as, the idea of covering up the mole's balls, but just on a much grander scale. They're building, and it's going to happen in mid-May. It's going to get finished. A big, massive black mesh net that is going to cover up the main viewing point of the mountain. So
what about all the locals, though? Imagine you, wake up, you've got a beautiful view of Mount Fuji, and now you're just looking at a black mesh net. They're the ones that are going to suffer. The tourists are there for, a couple of days, maybe a week.
Yeah,
the locals are the ones living there that's going to have to look at this ugly black mesh net from now on.
Literally, and it doesn't stop tourists from coming. What if people want to see the mesh? I mean, this is obviously probably Japan's biggest bit of mesh net. That's a great tourist attraction.
World's largest mesh net.
It's a great attraction in itself.
Come for the mountain, stay for the net. Yeah. Hey, Callum, when you're robbed of sleep, It's possibly the most annoying thing that can, bottle up a lot of hatred, right?
Oh, well, it sets you up for a bad day, and you're constantly thinking about who disrupted my sleep, why was it disrupted, and, it's a day ruiner.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you're woken up from a nap, from a vacuum cleaner or, someone outside with a leaf blower or chainsaw. I don't know. It could be
Texas,
anything.
you got Leatherface out the front of your house.
No, mate. Some people use it for garden work.
I want to do some trimming.
No, but there's this person that has taken to Reddit, right? And now talking about how for weeks on end, they were getting robbed of their sleep.
Yeah.
Now, they lived in like a shared unit. So it was, a dividing wall down the middle of the house, and they shared a wall with another lot of people.
Oh, they're crazy spots, aren't they? When you go to someone's house and, when they share a balcony as well.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit too close for comfort, right?
Very
it
personal.
just gets very loud on the other side.
Yeah, so she's sharing this wall, and, if you've ever lived in a house or been to a house where they've got that dividing wall, you can really hear what the other people are up to, right? You hear their footsteps if they're walking down the hallway. It almost sounds like they're in the house you're in.
Yeah.
You can hear them watching TV. You can hear them if they're, banging around doing whatever. And that's exactly what this neighbor was doing, banging around doing whatever.
Right, yeah.
And it would happen, in the early morning of each night,
Okay.
there would be this bloke that comes over, and he'd drive over, come in. They would never stay the night and had baby seats in the back of his car. So she's deduced that this bloke's having an affair.
Oh, wow, a bit of gossip. I mean, doing a bit of sleuthing like this is always a bit of fun. So what does she do about it? I mean, it's a bit dicey.
Well, at this point, she's so sleep deprived. She's so needing of sleep. She's taken the revenge route, and she's started a fake profile, scanned this guy's number plates, found out where he lived, and then got a name, and then went to social media, made this fake account, messaged the wife, and told her everything that's been going on. And then apparently the bloke hasn't been around for weeks, and she has been sleeping like a baby.
Sleeping meds ruin a relationship, give or take. It is funny that it's probably nothing to do with the morals of cheating. It's just she literally wants a good night's sleep.
No, she was just so tired, and I've been there. We all know exactly the limits you will go to get that sleep
pretty far.
back. Very far.